Jason Klamm, and this is Comedy on Vinyl. The year is 2025. The artist, Dan and Jay's Comedy Hour.
Hi.
The album, well, it's not an album. It's a record. It's fine, Dan. The album, I keep saying, it's not an album. It's a record. It's called The Inquisitive Florist. Technically by Dan and Jay, those hilarious too. We'll get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, with me is my best friend, Dan Gomiller.
Hello. How are you?
Co-host of the Dan and Jay's Comedy Hour podcast. Are you asking them or me?
Everything. Everyone.
Okay.
All you.
I'm fine. I can't
Okay.
speak for them. But.
Well, let's let them answer. Would you stop interrupting?
Okay. That's right. No, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. It's
great.
Okay.
What are the options? Huh. Interesting. I'm going to go over here now. Do we cover our bases?
I thought I had a restraining order. Why are you in my kitchen?
Good one.
There we go. I think we covered all the bases now.
Now we're good. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special episode of Comedy on Vinyl. In that, so the best way to get this one is going to be on YouTube. I will release this as an audio, but it's an unboxing. You don't really get the full feeling of an unboxing in audio.
I guess, do you have stereo going? Can we do some ASMR with this?
Oh boy, sure. I wish I should have. But no. It's going to be a mono.
Well, I mean,
unboxing.
at least kind of do the. I can still do the voice and the.
So, here I am. Should we give it? Should we lead up? Should we edge on this a little bit? Edge the audience a bit.
How you doing, everyone? We got this box. Let's go ahead and we won't read the address because we want it private. But I believe it is. Is it from a company?
It is from a company. Although I can't see it because it came from England, and whatever American company sent it has their name on it. So, and you're creeping me out so hard right now.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to do what you gotta do.
God damn it. Should we give this?
The mouth sounds are the worst part.
They are the worst part. Let's give them a little context, Dan.
Okay.
All right. I don't know. Where do we start? You start, and I don't care where you start. You want to start at the beginning of this project? I don't care. Tell them.
Let's start with the fact that we have many generations of us supposedly.
Sure. Yes. You will see a re-unboxing that is poised as that's not the right word, but it will be framed as the real unboxing. But this is the real one on the Dan and Jay's Comedy YouTube.
So
yeah.
I was gonna say surreptitiously, but that's not the right word. Ostensibly, we have a long and storied familial history. Of comedy stylings.
Yes.
Often in pairs. Mm-hmm. Definitely with a specific pair. Mm-hmm. And this we've expounded upon said history in the Dan Jay's Comedy Hour podcast.
Yep.
Sometimes we have multiple dimensions. Sometimes we just have a storied history. They can coexist. Yes. In this particular case, it's the history part, and there's been a lot of that. We've had mixtures of the kind of dimensional and historic. There's a lot going on. Let's just say a lot going on. But needless to say, in this particular case, the item Bewitched Jay has. That's a word. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sure.
Is related to one of those histories.
I love that it sounds like you're talking around it, but really there's no better way to describe it than just to keep talking till you get there. So, long story short, Dan and I have been fans of fake history for a long time, going back to David Macaulay's Motel of the Mysteries, to the Ruddles, what have you, and it just made its way into our work. And see, I can't even get there. Long story short, this is Dan and I have released CDs together. We will hopefully have a vinyl album coming out at some point. It's not ready yet. But in betwixt the two, we have Bewitching It. We have a cylinder. I would call it an Edison cylinder, but that was a brand. But a phonograph cylinder. This is purportedly by Dan and Jay, Those Hilarious Two, which is a very early iteration. If I remember correctly, our great-great-great-grandfathers, I think. And here's the one thing that we will not give away. We I know it's funny to do this, especially on a podcast. It's about comedy on vinyl, even though this isn't vinyl technically. I will not be telling you what it is about. I cannot tell you the contents of it. I can only roughly tell you that there is a sketch, and that's it. That's all I can tell you is that there's a sketch. And performed by Dan and Jay, those hilarious too. And I can give you a bit of the fake background, though. It is sort of like, if you guys recall, that Wu-Tang one-off album that piece of shit Martin Shkreli bought. It's like that. I tried to figure out, okay, well, who is the old-timey equivalent of Martin Shkreli? Okay, Henry Ford. That was very easy and very quick.
That's accurate, yeah.
So he's the one who bought it. And through reasons known only to him, although we might discover soon otherwise, he only listened to it once. That's all we know. And this is going to be the unboxing of that record. So record. So I apologize in advance if all you're doing is hearing this, but we will do our best to describe it as it goes.
Go to https://www.youtube.com/
DJC Hour.
DGJCHHOUR / videos, maybe? I don't know.
Sure.
Go to YouTube and search Cylinder Dan and Jay, and I bet you're not going to get a whole lot of other results.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of Dan and Jay results. You have to be very
if
picky
you do
now.
Cylinder as well.
Yeah. Probably, but I'll do my best to get
maybe on Pornhub, but
yeah, well, sure, of course. We got a big following over there. That's
I'm gonna see what comes up if I do a search for Dan and Jay Cylinder now. Hold on, this is important because it's important to get them there, right?
Yeah, of course.
And maybe you'll just get them there. Cylinder. There's you on the top.
Oh, okay. Oh, with the fake cylinder that we did a few years ago. The not real one? Okay.
Yep.
The one that
and then the second result is our good friends Jay and Dan given a shticky.
Oh, okay. What's funny
and
is
then Dan and Shay.
Sure, Dan and Shay. This, by the way, guys, this is what happens a lot on our other podcast.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying, like, it seems like it's very, very likely if you do a search on the YouTubes for Dan and Jay Cylinder,
this is uploaded, it'll probably pop up. Then.
You should be able to find it.
Can you tell me, Dan, this would involve getting into my own brain, which I'm not allowed to do, why I decided, since we did actually record that sketch, which is called World's Colombian Sex Position, why we didn't just cut that one? Why I did a separate... I mean, I guess the lore is deeper on this one.
It is. It's deeper.
And it's supposed to be a rarity. So I will say, we do not have a release date except for to say it's 2025 that this is going to be coming out. It's very limited. I think we're going to have about 7 of them that we can sell to the public. And it's going to come with a book called Dan and Jay's Comedy Hour and Historium. It's about 45 or so pages long. It's a little chapbook to give you a little bit of background. And it is also a sort of preamble to the full-length book that will come out at some point called Dan and Jay, A Hymstory. Should we get started on the
I think we
unboxing?
should.
Okay, so hopefully... All right, got my little pen knife.
You got to angle your thing down. We got to be able to see you cutting it.
Okay, well, let's see here.
Is it safe to do up in the air like that?
I don't know. I can't angle the camera down. Well, I mean, I guess I could. But this is fine. Yeah, that works.
Okay.
I don't want to have to deal with blurring my address out, so I'm doing it this way. Burp, burp, burp. Oop, no. Oh, God.
So I watched an unboxing where they were unboxing a little piece of equipment, and they took it, and then they would take the cable out of the plastic bag, and then talk about the plastic bag, and they would undo the twist ties, talk about the twist ties and the foam and everything, and then at the end, when they had everything laid out about what was in the box, it was literally just all the packaging.
I love it so much.
They even straightened out all the twist ties.
That's a good bit. That's a very good bit. Okay, so now I've got my address label off, so we're doing
what?
Okay. So it's something that Dan and I discussed earlier, briefly acknowledged, is that this package did not come in the best shape. It did come from the UK, specifically, by the way, from Vulcan Records.
There you go.
If I'm not mistaken, it's vulcanrecords.com, even though they're in the UK.
Vulcanrecords.com, because everyone knows .com better, and the browser will automatically add .com.
It's true. So
Look at that.
Got some cylinders.
Ooh, they're wrapped in stuff.
Okay, they look like they're in good shape. They're in a beautiful, whatever tone this is, red. It looks more rubyish on camera than it is, and it's like a paler pink. Ooh, with some shinies in it. It's got little shinies.
Shinies, ooh.
Yeah, so...
It looks like a red Mario pipe.
It does. For my own...
Edification?
Yeah, and peace of mind.
As opposed to pieces of cylinder.
Exactly. These do not have labels on them yet. I'm going to be applying custom labels. One of them will probably be aged to look like it's the original. That's something to keep an eye out on the Dan and Jay's Comedy Hour YouTube, too, because I am going to be taking them somewhere and pretending to steal them from that place. Okay, so I've just opened the end, Dan, and there we go.
Ooh, that looks a lot like the fake one.
It does, I know. Comic sketch. It says the Inquisitive Florist, 2 minutes. And we remember, Dan, 2 in the hole to save your roll. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know, you do use your forefinger and your middle finger if you have them. It's this way you don't ruin it.
Yeah, if you've ever watching that G4 clip, you know this is the correct way to hold it.
I'm so tempted to reenact that for that presentation. Do you know how tempted I am? 'Cause it would be very easy to make a fake one that falls apart.
I was kind of thinking, like, could we do that? Play like this and just shoosh.
I wish we don't have the budget for this, but the ideal would be like if I could make mix that with that one time that guy destroyed that guy's popsicle tower or whatever it was. And if only we could get a stack of 100 of them.
Oh my God, that's outside our budget. But
yeah, then you run into them and they all shatter. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is, Dan, you saw it. People at home, you saw it. 2 in the hole to save your roll. There we are.
You can kind of see, if you look, hold it a little closer and get some light reflecting off it. You can see the grooves.
You can.
See how it's reflecting a little bit there.
It's very exciting to me. It is exciting to me, but I have this problem where I can't concentrate on things that are happening in the moment. So I'm trying to do it now that my voice and your voice are on this. For the first time, we've got our voice cut onto something, Dan. That's very exciting.
That's true.
To me. Our voice as our again, I think it's our great-great-great-grandfathers.
Yeah.
I'll have to double check it.
What material is that made from, if not
That's a really
vinyl?
good question. I am not sure what... You know what? I should actually look on the website because does it say in here? Probably not. Black
This
cylinder.
is your plasticine cylinder.
I will say there was a period of time when they were made of a material that contained asbestos. So that's one
Asbestos
reason.
was in fucking it was in
I know.
cigarette filters in order
Yep.
to, get rid of some of the bad impurities of the cigarette.
I have never, that's why I've never bought myself a cylinder player because I don't know what has played on them. Also, that's why I don't buy like old record cutters either because sometimes they have their what do you call? Their power cords are insulated with asbestos. I just don't want to bring that into my house. Okay, so it is vulcanrecords.com, just to confirm.
Maybe it's vulcanized rubber.
I mean, that would be smart. So let's see. If I go... Apologies, Edison molded cylinder. Nope, that's not what it is. I see it's an unissued. I'm just reading the things I see in front of me. I'm Ron Burgundying this, and it's very not helpful. Hey guys, does this feel like the early years of comedy on vinyl or what?
You mean the ones I was on?
Well, to be fair, those early ones were a mistake, but not, believe it or not, because it had nothing to do with you. Let's see, cylinder. They must be made. I didn't ask him. I'm gonna have because they're made out of he does do wax blanks because that's how you do them.
Right.
But I do not believe these would be wax. I'm gonna have to ask him.
They would definitely not be wax. You could not play a wax.
No. So I'll cut that information in here.
We made front page. Welcome to Vulcan Records. We make hard-wearing plastic cylinder records for use on Edison, Columbia, and similar cylinder phonographs.
You mean so the website that I went to immediately a minute ago and just didn't bother reading?
We also make disc records molded in a hard-wearing resin suitable for playing on vintage machines.
I love that. That's another thing. So here's where we thank heavily the good people at Vulcan Records, Duncan specifically, who did Comedy on Vinyl a few years ago, you'll remember, because I wanted to talk to somebody about old-timey records. And since then, years ago, we've been talking about the possibility of working together and making one of these. I will say, if those 7 sell, which includes the books, we got to... I want to give some, because most people are not going to have a phonograph. I want them to have a book. I will probably be including micro SD cards in there of the actual track. But outside of that, we're not really going to be publishing it. I do want to keep it not exclusive. I don't want to be a dick about it, but I'm going to be keeping it at least limited to how you can get a hold of it, because that is
you should put a like a release number on them.
Yes. Oh, I am. At least in the books, but also on these. So on the
and you should be using a
a
16-digit hash on each one.
Okay. And that
instead
will help
of just
me do
1, 2, 3, 4, it should
Okay.
be like a 16-digit number that's unique between each one.
Sure. That doesn't sound way too complicated. Look, you're the tech guy, Dan. You do that.
I'll generate you 16 GUIDs. It's fine.
Thanks, man. Give me those GUIDs. I love a strong GUID. So there we go. I mean, it's not complicated. This is a delicious. What did I even do? I threw the box on the ground. I'm just so excited to see these. And I will also say, like, Vulcan Records, it's not just like they don't just manufacture them. You can contact them. Their prices are insanely reasonable. If this is the kind of weird niche thing you're into, go there. You can buy them for reasonable prices. The ones he's already like, he's got re-releases of old stuff. He's got releases of new music and stuff because they kind of act as a label. But you can go there and have him custom cut you a thing. Dan and I obviously couldn't be there to do it, so we both tried to get as genuine as we could. We were like, what, 1.5 2 feet away from the microphones, and we yelled the entire sketch. We yelled all of it so that it sounded legit. It took him a while to get this working, to actually properly mix this and master it, specifically because of some sound effects that I cannot give away, but let's just say I made it way too difficult for him. And it sounded insane and still it was difficult to make work, but we did it. And these are our delicious, delicious cylinders.
It's almost like the things we do in modern times weren't designed to work on a limited technology of a spinning cylinder.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that strange?
I sent you 7 GUIDs, just so you know.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I need
Make sure that if when you do print them, that you print them in a mono space font so that they are all the same width.
Smart. I do need 3 more, though. Can you give me 3 more? I need 10 total for these.
Oh,
or 9 total.
No, because we should have one on yours, too.
Well, yes, but one of them will be the original. I'm going to age that label, so it's not going to have anything special on it. This can be the one that was handheld.
I'll make you a special GUID for that as if it was like a museum piece.
Yeah. By notorious racist Henry Ford.
B.I.G. Oh.
Notorious racist Henry Ford, B.I.G. I don't know.
As we all...
Industrial ghoul. That's what that stands for.
You know what? It works.
Dan.
I was the original Notorious B.I.G.
Of course he'd claim that.
It is mine. Did you make this? I made this.
I don't know. Now, I don't know our timeline, so I apologize in advance. Either it's going to happen soon for you guys, or it's already happened, but we will be doing a special episode of Dan and Jay's Comedy Hour wherein we talk about the quote-unquote history of this record in depth, and undoubtedly whatever canon I've already come up with, Dan will probably negate within seconds. And then Jay's
got a yes and, which he had to learn the hard way in an improv theater situation.
Yep. I'll have to have a fork at my side to plant in my thigh every time Dan does it. We have some special guests planned. We can't announce them. And they're frankly people that are only famous possibly within the scope of the podcast. That's not
like
true.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is coming on.
He's no one really knows him except because, the podcast.
Can I tell you, Dan? I did actually reach out to Tom Hanks for something related to this. I gotta know, but I did get a check back with us in 6 months, and I'm like, damn it, 6 months is too late. However, it was not 100% no, which is the first time that's ever happened with somebody that big. So I will be reaching back out for something else. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely, right? Yeah.
Why the fuck wouldn't I? Next cylinder. I'm not, by the way, not opposed to doing another cylinder because, again, so frigging reasonable. And it's not just me selling it. I looked at the prices the other day. He has them on the website. He doesn't hide it. It's mostly like the setup fee that costs the most. And then like per record, it's so ridiculously cheap. He will apply labels if you want. I asked for blank tubes. Yeah. All right. There's not much to talk about in terms of the actual production of this, I don't think. I mean, I wrote a sketch that I thought would be funny. We can't give away any of the details, but you and I performed it. We did it by Zoom, so obviously recording our original audio. We didn't use Zoom audio on here. That would be god-awful. We'd be cutting in and out. It would sound like shit. But, I don't know. That was a while ago.
Yeah. I barely remember it.
Say 4 years? No. Maybe? It's hard to say. We've been talking about it for at least 4 years, so maybe we recorded it 2 years ago. But boy, oh boy, I mean, he's had to move locations, all kinds of crap, and it just takes a while to get these things done.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Dan. What do you got? Any thoughts? Any thoughts about having our friggin' voices on plastic for the first time? Well,
it will be
notwithstanding CDs.
It will live forever. Technically, I'm actually you on this one.
Yes.
Because the burned CDs weren't burned on the plastic. They were burned on the foil lining of the plastic. So this is the first time our voices are recorded on plastic.
That's a very good point. Thank you for actually me. That makes me feel better about it. Oh, you know what? I lie. So our voices have been etched once before, but that's
shit.
on a 1.5 inch record.
You're right. Now
10 seconds.
And you said I'm the one that was going to be derailing it within seconds.
Yeah, well, hey,
yes,
guys,
you're right.
look.
The 1 inch records.
So
this will be the first ones available in a more general format.
Yeah, these don't require a custom plinth to play each of them. You just have to go get yourself
a custom player.
Yeah, you have to have a 150-year-old machine to play the goddamn thing.
But you can use one right out of the box.
Exactly.
You can use a vanilla Edison cylinder player, and it's gonna be fine.
Yes, exactly.
And that's what's important.
What I'll do is I'll go get my my Crosley one. It's a USB Edison cylinder player. It comes with some software where you can tweak it a little bit. Sounds great.
So they've got those things that use they can when they're using archival LPs, they'll use a laser to capture the grooves. You could totally do that with this.
I have to imagine there's a way to adapt it for this. Those are very expensive machines, but yes. I talked on this podcast. I talked to a guy years ago who recovered for the sake of it, really. There was this hippie commune that burned down, and one of the things that did survive were a bunch of melted records, but they weren't so melted that they couldn't get stuff off of them with lasers. And they did it to experiment because they knew what the records were. They already existed. And there was one comedy record in there by somebody who I don't want to discuss right now. But let's just say a very popular person who turned out to be a creep.
Pudding pops.
It may or may not involve some pudding pops. And so you're right. I wonder if they've ever actually adapted these. Over the years.
That's how I would modernize it, just because.
Yeah, why not?
Because then you could literally just have a laser playing it. It doesn't touch it.
Yeah.
You could even have it have an arm that goes up and down, right? Mm-hmm. So you have it point down to LPs because they're about the same width as a single radius of an LP, the actual recorded part. And then so you tilt it up and you have your little attachment for the cylinder.
This idea. I really
and
love
then you put it back
idea.
down and play the record. Boom.
Oh
Science.
This is brilliant.
Oh shit, I'm looking something up right now.
Edison
already invented it. Motherfucker.
He listens to all of our podcasts. This is the problem, is that he listens to all of our podcasts, and a lot of people from old-timey times do. So here's another thing. So again, the episode question mark of Dan and Jay's Comedy Hour will come out with people from history and people not from history. I mean, we're all from history, technically. But
technically, we're all historical. Just some of us are remembered.
Exactly. Oh, and here's the best part of that, I imagine, is going to be the very fun guest who is a YouTuber, is a very delightful, good-natured YouTuber who does not know that we're doing this episode the same day he's doing it, because I hadn't planned it that way, but that's what it's worked out to be. So he is going to find himself in the middle of a lot of cross-country improv.
A lot of stuff going on, yep.
So, and then...
into the thick of the improv that is our minds.
And then, because I've locked the date in, September 16th, there's going to be a presentation. I don't know, I'm going to present it. Can we say anything else about that? Or we haven't really solidified that yet, right? So
I'm going to do my damnedest. So I would say it's as solid as it's going to get, much like my feces.
Oh, delightful. I'm glad that you've got a healthy feces.
Just the one. All the rest of them aren't.
Ladies and gentlemen, so there's going to be a presentation at the Detroit Public Library September 16th. If I'm honest, the more people who pour in for this, the better. It doesn't matter that there's only going to be 7 to 8 of these available to the public. They might even be gone by then because I don't have a release date set, but let's say it is September. Either way, it's a presentation about the history. The best part is that the Detroit Public Library is going to let us do whatever we want. And they're going to let us play it on their actual Edison player, which is so fucking exciting. And I have some ideas for what form this will take, but Dan and I are going to have to discuss this at a later date.
Seriously hash it out.
And we can come up with
it may involve a manatee costume. I don't know.
Oh yeah, right. I'd forgotten
because Ari's going to be there, so we know she's an expert at it.
Yeah, exactly. If you guys don't know what Dan's talking about, go look at Conan O'Brien's Romancity on YouTube. Stars Dan and I. And it's complicated.
It's probably my only IMDb credit.
It might. Well, no, because Tunak Tun is up there.
Oh yeah,
as well.
and probably
and Looking Forward.
Yeah, but it's definitely I think it's my first one.
Yeah, and I believe you're credited as Man Whore because that's who we were at the time, and that was very.
That's who I was. I believe that is in the credits. So
yeah, so there we go. September. There's going to be a presentation about this, and either the same day or around the same time, a presentation about the Dick Davey record, which. I've done a special episode about that, and I've probably already released that. I don't know. But if I haven't, look forward to that. That's a lengthy episode that isn't about this goofy-ass shit. Well, Dan, thank you for joining me for this special episode.
It's fun every time.
Do you want to promote anything, Dan? It's a short one, but I don't care.
Yeah, sure. I will promote the Meowathon coming up in a month, which is our tabletop.
Hopefully this has come out by then.
If not, hope you will have heard it.
It is usually a yearly event, so there is that. But
there is. So if it's not, I'll just I'll leave a good blank.
Yeah,
and then we can just put in other dates. It either is going to be or will have been on June 27th through 29th. It's an online stream of one-shots to raise money for Boise's Simply Cats, a local cage-free, no-kill cat shelter.
12 hours a day, right?
3 days. 12 hours a day.
It's so much fun.
Actually, we're doing we're only doing 3 games a day this year, so that's 9 hours.
Oh, okay. Still, that's a fucking ton of free stuff. You don't have to pay to watch them, but if you do pay, it's obviously highly encouraged because you're helping out kitty cats. Come on.
And it influences the game, so you can feel like you're playing too. It's like when you play Jackbox and you got that audience thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fun. I love this.
So Meowathon.com.
Delightful. You guys can go to JasonKlamm.com. You can check out my book, We're Not Worthy, which came out a year and a half ago or so. I've got another book that I'm working on, another nonfiction pop culture book that will be coming out probably next year, sometime early or mid next year, that I can't talk about. But it's about a 1980s movie. That's all I can say. And then just keep an eye out at danandjay.com. Check out our podcast. Check out our shop. Or actually go to Celery Sound Records for our shop because I finally fixed that.
Yay.
And then at some point soon, if not by now, but probably soon-ish, sometime between now and September, God damn it, I'm sorry to do this, these will be available to sell. I got to get the art ready and everything and the USBs and make it look good, and I've got to age some paper and shit. Because I want it to look really fun and like you've actually got a fake piece of history in your hands. So it'll be coming out there, and the Dick Davey record's coming out in September 9th is when that comes out from Stand Up Records. And if that episode hasn't come out yet, look forward to it. It's very fun. We talk with a lot of people, including a fan of this show who influenced how that record got made and frankly is responsible for that record existing because he found some material that we could use to frankly fill out the record, and it's great. So there we go. That is it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Dan, thanks for being my guest.
Okay.
And as always, have a good thing. Comedy on Vinyl is a production of Stolen Dress Entertainment. It is produced by Mike Worden and is hosted and edited by Jason Klamm. Our theme song was composed and performed by Richard Levinson. You can email us at podcast@comedyonvinyl.com. Subscribe to Comedy on Vinyl on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and anywhere else you can find podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating and write us a review. It helps. You can find everything in one place at ComedyOnVinyl.com. A major portion of Comedy on Vinyl has been underwritten by Stand Up Records. Please visit StandUpRecords.com for all your comedy needs and tune in to the new Stand Up Records channel available on the Roku, where you can also find select episodes of this podcast. Comedy Podcast Cloud.
Hey, it's my turn.
I'm English.